Hello, this is Michael Mercer, and I am the founder and CEO of F3 Defense. And I have a podcast called um, Freedom from Fear, the podcast. And I'm friends with Amanda Coleman, the Blue Irish Angel. And she's asked me to be part of her organization to support and help police officers through their lives and what police officers have to do and the struggles that they go through and we go through. I'm a retired police officer. I spent 23 years on the job after suffering a brain injury. I was forced to retire. Uh, Went through a lot of difficulties with that, and came through to the other end. So I'm really excited about being able to offer this. Uh, I don't know, my advice. I'm so grateful that uh, Amanda believes that I have something worthy to offer, and I believe I do. So thank you for the opportunity. What the blog is going to be about, like I said, I'm a retired cop. I'm a Navy veteran. After 9/11, I joined the Navy because that's all I've really ever been doing. I've been serving. I was a cop when I was 19. I went to the academy, and so it's really all I've ever done was serve. So um, being hurt really got me to a point where I had to face so many things, not just physical issues, but mental, spiritual, and emotional issues as well. So through that journey, um, like I just want to say, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who who hit rock bottom, and I know the way out of it. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to share it with you guys. So Amanda, this is going to be great. We're going to hopefully help. I know you're going to with this process and with this program and what you're doing, the outreach that you have. You're doing amazing work. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the law enforcement and law enforcement family. We are so grateful for you and what you do. And thank you for compiling so many people together for your mission as well. So we're on the same path. So I looked after I got hurt on the job. Like I said, I went through some very difficult times. It took me a couple of years to learn to talk and walk again. I lived in my van. I was unemployable after they kicked me to the curb. Uh, I just literally lost it. I didn't have really any hope for living anymore. So I went through depression, serious depression, and physically I was beat. Um, I turned to alcohol heavily and drank myself to death, quite literally. Um, and when I was able to, after God performed His miracle on me, and I surrendered all the demons that had been accumulated in my life for the last how many years on the job, and then what eventually took place. I just didn't want to live anymore, but I did. I surrendered that day. It's 11 years ago, and I won't jump the gun yet. 10 years and 9 months ago, and just really grateful. And now I'm able to give it back. So after I surrendered, my problem is just me. It was issues with me. I had to deal with issues with me. So I look at now, and as I look back and I teach people now how to stay healthy, and how that really kind of relates with being a police officer. Uh, where does that take? I mean, we're in the healthiest, right? When we graduate the police academy, we're probably the healthiest we've ever been in our lives. So, when I went to the police academy, I was 19 years old. It was here in Maine. I was overweight then. I'd gone probably a couple of years without really doing any sports or anything. And then I just barely like passed the physical agility test to get in. And they put me on fat sheets right off the bat. So what that is that you have to like count calories everywhere you go. And so, I not really struggled, but I became, uh, let's put it this way. I got lazy, and that's what happens to a lot of people. So, so when I graduated academy, I was in great shape, but what happens after that? We start losing that. We try to maintain it, through a couple of years on the job. Then, I mean, eventually that we just become complacent about it. And our hours are horrible. We're working overtime. We're working shift work. We're not eating right. It's all a recipe for disaster. I mean, when we graduate the academy, like I said, we're in the best shape, but because we have a set schedule. They're feeding us 3 times a day. They're feeding us healthy food. That's the type of stuff that's got to continue after the academy. And part of that's education. Part of that's letting people know right in the academy is that this has got to be a lifestyle to continue through your life, because we don't have just regular jobs. We have very, very strenuous jobs. And I look at my wellness as like a four-legged chair, right? So you have to have all four legs working properly. If one's off balance and one's not working, one's, half an inch shorter, you're going to struggle. You're going to tip. And so that's kind of like where this is, where your physical is one leg, your mental health is the other leg, your spiritual health is the other leg of the chair, and then your emotional health is the other leg. So you have to work all of those legs, or keep all of those legs healthy. And because if one gets off, then you're off balance. So as we are, like I said, we get out of the academy, we're in great shape. And a couple of years later, man, we're working 50, 60 hours a week, and that's not even court time. And that's all the other stuff, the fill-ins, the call-ins, the overtime, that's everything. And then, what are we doing? We're eating at 7-Eleven or Wawa's or somewhere, Circle K, that it doesn't have the best nutritional value. And then we're just grabbing something because, man, we got to hit another call. That stuff's tough. That stuff is tough. And we have to start considering that, because the more stress our body takes, the more it's going to need proper nutrition and proper maintenance, physically. So, we don't eat well. And now we don't even exercise anymore, hardly, because, I mean, how many PDs have gyms, you know, and how many people are in the gym all the time? There's like 4 or 5 guys, a couple of women, maybe, depending on the size of your PD. The majority aren't in there working out. And I could say this: the majority on the department is probably overweight. Some of the PDs are they really lack incentive for nutrition and being physically fit. And believe me, I was 300 pounds, so I know. I mean, I can say this. I know that I've been overweight. I've been obesely overweight, and so I know what happens. We get lazy. We get tired. And then once we get tired, it's just, we can't get to the gym, and then it becomes a habit, right? We become a habit of not going to the gym. And a lot of this is just about creating good habits. So I got a couple more minutes. Excuse me. So I went from 300 pounds to 182 pounds. I'm going to show you a quick look at what I looked like before. And just to give you an idea, I've got some street cred here. So take a look at this. That's me at about 290 to 300, give or take. And then about 2 years ago, me and my son decided we were, tired of being sick and tired. And we decided just to do keto. So I'm going to talk about diet and weight and weight loss and how to stay healthy. But check this out. So I went from this to this in about 20 months. And so we're pretty psyched about that. It really was. That's at a competition I did, a bodybuilding competition I did in Cape Cod back in October. So super stoked about that. I'm going to compete for Mr. Maine in April. No, I'm sorry. It's May, I think, here up in Maine. So We're going to talk about mental health. 30% of police officers have thought about suicide. All right. I did. All right. I know that some of you have. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to get out of that. More police officers die by suicide than any other profession. 4 times, 5 times more than firefighters. Not to say that there's that's insignificant. Just saying, cops, bad physical health, mental health, your productivity declines because of this. You know, when we suffer mentally, our productivity declines. And what happens when productivity declines as a cop? The general public and ourselves are at risk, right? Because then we're not paying attention. We're not doing the things that need to keep our partner safe or ourselves safe, and then the general public safe. So it takes a lot. So we're going to go over mental health, spiritual health. This is a huge, huge, huge. It's the number one reason why I'm here today. So we're going to talk about spiritual health. We're going to talk about why cops don't go to church as much as they used to. Maybe they started going to church, and then now they're working shift work, and they're working, like I said, they're working 80 hours a week. And excuse me, it's very difficult to develop relationships with people if you're working that long. You get called out if you're on call, you're working holidays, you're working weekends. It's very difficult to maintain relationships. So cops tend to just stick with themselves and stick with other people. They bring, they cops bring stress home. If you're not doing well spiritually, if you don't have somewhere to put that and some hope in God, then you're bringing that stress into the family, and that's never good. So we become apathetic too, right? Well, a lot of reasons why cops don't go to church. So say, if there was a God, he wouldn't let any of this happen. So even though I know like 99.999% of all cops believe in a higher power and God, um, it's just so darn hard after seeing so many, many bad things. It's so hard to believe that there is a God that's loving. And when we get to thinking about that, it leads us down a very dangerous path, and that Satan wants us to go down. So we need to make sure that we maintain our spiritual health, and we're going to go over that. I'm a Christian. I'm going to be talking about my faith, but certainly if you have your own faith, it's most important to have a higher power to believe in, and I believe in Jesus Christ, and so we were going to talk about that. And the fourth leg of the chair is your emotional well-being, right? What are emotions? Stress destroys. All right, stress kills people, and we see that in police officers. Stress kills, and your life, it destroys, not only individually through suicide, but stress kills relationships. Stress kills families. It ruins the way we do our life, and so make sure that everything around we're going to take these four really tenets of well-being: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, and we're just going to talk about them. We're not sure. I'm not sure if it's a weekly yet, but we're going to work on that, and we'll go from there. But out of time this time, just wanted to introduce myself. Thank you, Amanda. I just can't wait to get going and meeting some of the people that I look forward to helping. And you guys all stay safe. God bless. Merry Christmas. And, stay warm if you're someplace cold. All right. Freedom from fear. God bless.